All right. I'll do this intro. Don't worry about it.
Please,
don't worry
take it
about
away.
it, man. All right. I got this. The lower left part of the map in the red, playing for the team StarTale, thinking he can win a ZVZ against a very powerful Zerg player. It is StarTale.KingKong. And at the top right part of the map in the blue, playing for the team TSL, he is their last hope. Remember, any game that he loses means that TSL is getting knocked down to the lower bracket. It is TSL.Symbol.
Glad that both these teams have another life, though. You know,
yes,
whenever one of them goes
very
down.
True.
Very, very strong teams.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to watch, and I like the way that they've approached their team league thus far. Not really pulling any punches, throwing in the strongest players available. I mean, StarTale, I mean, to me, this suggests that they're throwing in a sniper right now, but they've thrown in already, you know, partying in the past and curious, and they've not been afraid to play whoever's at their disposal.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is an interesting map to pick for ZVZ. It's a very large map, obviously. So this is something where StarTale.KingKong is basically saying, yeah, I'm going to kind of make you think, Symbol. I'm going to make you wonder, is he going to try to cheese me and like metagame me, make me think he's doing this for a macro thing when he's actually not? Or is he going to actually play for a macro ZVZ? You know, we'll see. I mean, I have watched some of King Kong's games in the past, and he actually does favor that more longer macro ZVZ style. So I'm not surprised at all to see him pick this map, but I wonder how much Symbol really knows about him.
Well, Symbol's going for hatch first, 15 hatch. His opponent, on the other hand, ended up going gas first, speedling build.
Gas pool up for King Kong, yeah. So is he going to do maybe a speedling expand? I think that would be a nice, safe option on this map where you can get your expansion up and put some pressure on your opponent. Speedlings can cover that ground very, very quickly, even though it is a large map. Or is he going to try to do something like a speedling, banelink all in, possibly? We'll have to see. The big tip-off is going to be if he keeps getting gas after the 100 minerals, or 100 gas, rather, for speed. So that's what we're going to kind of want to watch closely.
Well, let's see here. He's almost built up to that level. 88, 92, 96, and pulling off.
Yep.
All right. Just leaving one on, it looks like.
Okay, so definitely could be a speedling expand. The nice thing with leaving a banelink on the gas like that, too, is if you need to throw down a banelink nest later on, you can. You know, you'll usually have 50 gas pretty quick. Oh, no, he's pulled everyone off. Oh, no, he's still getting gas.
No, yeah, slowly. He just has one on there, so.
That's right. I don't know what's going on anymore.
That's quite all right. Nice symmetry in the scouting overlords.
This guy's name is King Kong, man. It's just
it's awesome.
It's distracting me.
Oh, man. Well, Zergling's running out across the map now. Either players found each other yet, and walk distance does make a pretty big difference when you're cross positions on Tal'Dorei and Malter. I've seen games where players did decide to open up like this, put out a few links, try and put on some pressure, but yet the opponent did decide to hatch first, but because of the walk distance is still able to defend. Banelink nest coming up for both players, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, TSL.Symbol is going to need one anyway, because he did go hatch first. Pretty tough to survive a hatch first build without getting a banelink nest to stay safe. But yeah, King Kong decided to get his as well. Going to be playing a little bit dangerously. Here's a question for you. Do you think he's King Kong because of the great ape in the movie? Or do you think he's King Kong because he aspires to be the best of the constantly second place winning players?
I would anticipate or imagine, as he's trying to go after a couple of Zerg cocoons there, that's not second place GSL play, that he is modeling himself after the ape. Actually, I have this image that it's actually the ape sitting down playing StarCraft. Oh, manages to pick off a couple of drones there, but I just like see King Kong smashing his keyboard.
Yeah. Sitting on top of a building playing.
I'm good with it. It's fine by me.
These planes won't leave me alone. All right,
I just want to play StarCraft.
Who wouldn't? Everyone should want to play StarCraft, even movie monsters. Symbol putting up some defensive banelings back home, and you see King Kong putting down some banelings of his own as well. You can just kind of move those into the base, let your opponent try to deal with them as you do other things.
Let's see here. Worker count is 17-16 in favor of King Kong at the moment. Both players are on pretty even production. And King Kong has quite a few banelings out. Looks like he's keeping some of these for defensive purposes, though, in case of a counterattack. And then here's a couple of banelings up at the front, maybe to put on some pressure.
Yep. I'd imagine the Queen will probably be able to take it out. Yeah, he's actually just kind of running around in front of there, maybe trying to get Symbol to make more units rather than that. Oh, he needs to be careful.
Oh, yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. Oh, Banelink
nice
gets taken out right away. Yeah.
Oops.
Well, actually,
been a mistake. Yeah, he got a little bit lucky there, but
no kidding.
That attack is definitely done. Both these guys at 36 supply right now as well, so dead even in that regard, and pretty even on workers too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have 7 more drones coming out for ST.KingKong now, so he is going to be pretty close to tied up with his opponent. Yeah, it's still going to be pretty even, within 2 or 3 drones apart. And, all right, well, the Baneling's rolling back in here. KingKong is just being really aggressive.
That is such a good place for a Spine Crawler from ST.KingKong. That covers absolutely everything. It's going to be really tough to get a Baneling or 2 past there.
And he's already done a nice job of target firing with his units as well. We've got 3 Banelings now, though. We'll see if that's enough. ST.KingKong comes out and he starts charging there. And, bunch of Banelings up at the back, but there's no Zergling support with these. And they're getting shot down pretty quickly.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, here comes more Banelings.
Oh, that could have been bad.
Oh, what a great trade for ST.KingKong.
Yeah,
he's doing fantastic here, holding this aggression off.
He is mitigating damage so well right now.
Yeah, he's ahead on supply now after that. Roachwarren, though, going up for KingKong. And he's also getting +1 weapons already, so we could see some sort of +1 weapons timing. Otherwise, he will also have time to get Lair and go for +2. We'll have to kind of wait.
And ST.KingKong putting down 2 more Spine Crawlers now, as well as going after Lair Tech with no Roachwarren to lead things off.
And I think we're going to see Mutalisks from ST.KingKong, actually. He's got 4 gases here. He's putting down a lot of Spines. That usually does suggest Mutalisks. So, and it's a great map for it, too. You actually see Mutalisks in ZVZ on this map quite a bit. Oh, barely dodging that Baneling there.
Yeah, good job to avoid that, actually. And it looks like he'll be able to take out the Queen, so a good win there for KingKong, and then loses his Zerglings afterwards.
Yep. All right. So here's the thing for KingKong. Roaches are actually not good against Mutalisks.
That's true.
Yes.
Can't shoot up. That's an inherent flaw in their anti-air capabilities.
So if he doesn't see this coming, if he doesn't produce more Queens or some Spore Crawlers, ST.KingKong could just straight up win the game when he gets these Mutalisks out, potentially, if he does decide to do that.
Of course. Still an outside chance he'll go Infestors or something like that, but more than likely going to be Mutalisks.
Sees the Roachwarren, sees the Lair, knows that the Lair is much later for his opponent than his is. In fact, ST.KingKong's already being done, and there's a Spire for ST.KingKong. Yeah, great choice by ST.KingKong to go for Mutalisks in this regard, especially after getting those Lings in there. I think he was planning on it anyway, but after seeing what was in KingKong's base, he's like, yeah, Mutalisks, definitely going to be a nice idea.
Well, let's see what KingKong has seen recently. He got in there with a couple of earlier units and an Overlord, but that was about it. The Macro Hatch coming up now for ST.KingKong as well, and he is going to have enough gas by the time the Spire finishes to put up 8 or 9 Mutalisks right away.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the thing. I mean, KingKong has a couple options now that his lair's finished to combat these Mutalisks. He could put up an Infestation Pit. That's what a lot of people do. Some people try to go Hydralisks, and that's like okay, but generally Infestation Pit is the way to go, and then just kind of move out with Roach Infestor. That Infestors are so good against Mutalisks at the pro level.
Well, the Roaches and Infestors complement each other so well.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. So I would imagine that's probably what we're going to see KingKong do, but will it be soon enough here? He's going for upgrades instead, sending a lot of Roaches across the map. Yeah, look at all those Spine Crawlers for ST.KingKong.
Oh, wow. Good lord.
Yeah, so... All right, and he's got enough money for about 10 Mutalisks here.
All right, here they come. That's 9 of them right away. He's got a few Zerglings coming up after that as well. The real question is KingKong going to be able to do damage before those Mutalisks pop up in the air?
That's a lot of Spines, man. I mean, he's going to take so much damage. This is just a really good delaying tactic here. And so the question is, will ST.KingKong send those Mutas to defend? I think he's going to maybe need to.
All right, well, Banelings countering Banelings right now, so not too many left over for KingKong, but he's gone through those Spine Crawlers pretty quickly. Now we have a bunch of Mutas flying in overhead right now. Now, we have that classic race. Will the Mutalisks be able to kill everything before KingKong does too much damage?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, the Mutalisks are all out there, and he's not chasing the Roaches with the Mutalisks. Oh! He's going to lose some Queens. He hasn't been injecting Larvae either. That's going to be a bit of a problem for ST.KingKong.
Yes, it is.
And, yeah, these Roaches are going to be able to kill a good amount of drones at the very least here.
All right, but a little bit of a supply advantage right now for ST.KingKong at the moment. Yeah. He is eventually going to be able to take out all of those Roaches. What is this sitting here inside of the Natural? It was just a bunch of drones that had to run away for a little bit. He's still pretty even on workers, and he now does have air control as well. Spore Crawlers coming up for KingKong as he moves into Lair Tech. Moves into Lair Tech. Did he cancel Lair Tech when ST.KingKong left before? I think he did.
Oh, yeah, he might have actually. I assumed he had finished, but yeah, he might have actually canceled the Lair Tech. just to kind of fake his opponent out. That is so smart, actually, now that I wish I would have noticed that earlier. But yeah, that is actually really smart. Symbol tried to prepare, but just not preparing well enough.
Oh!
A lot of Banelings sitting there right in the base. The Mutalisks are still going to be pretty dangerous, but there's just not as many out as I think he would hope to have at this point in time.
It looks like he's just trying to go for the killing blow. We have two things happening, though. KingKong is trying to come in at the same time with a bunch of Zerglings and do some damage. Symbol going to move in now, though, with his Banelings into the mineral line. The drones have to run away. The Mutalisks are doing damage as well. Back up here, though, for KingKong. He's continuing to kill workers left and right. There's just nothing on the field for Symbol to hold against this.
Yep, he's going to need to maybe make a few Banelings at home to try to recover here. A lot of drones getting taken out, but not as many as there could have. Not bad. And Symbol is certainly starting to look like he is in pretty big trouble here.
Yes, he is. He's down to 23 drones, so we did end up killing more than he's had killed so far. But the Spine Crawler goes down, and there's no defense left. And watch these drones just melt away.
Yep. Killing out
kills
a couple
3 or 4
but
there.
The worker count, yeah, it's 15
look at that.
to 24.
49. He's killed 49 workers.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. That was a really sneaky move that KingKong did with canceling the lair and hitting with those roaches at kind of a weird time for Symbol. He thought he was going to have more time to build up a few more Mutalisks, I think, here too. And yeah, the Infestation Pit on the way now. And the fact is that if Symbol sticks with Mutatech, which, you know, he kind of is not really obligated to, but it's tough to switch at this point. He's just not going to have the money to make enough mutas to win the game. Symbol's in just a really tough situation right now.
Well, what is he going to do to play catch-up right now? He's now down to about half the workers of his opponent, which is unfortunate. He's picking off a couple of workers here with the mutas, but taking quite a bit of damage, not able to pick off any queens as well. And Spine Crawler immediately jumps up and says, "I'm out of here! See you later, guys!"
And is there even a spot, really? I mean, he can hit the extractor. There's a little spot there where he can hit some of the drones if he boxes, but
yeah, but still
rough.
Not going to be quite the damage he wants to do right now, and then loses a Mutalisk on top of that as well.
Yeah, doing some damage at least where he can.
Yeah.
Killing off some drones. So he can be a little bit annoying with these Mutalisks, but I don't know, man. KingKong has his base pretty much nailed down as far as the defense goes.
All right, well, let's see here. 14 more links coming up now for Symbol, but 4 infestors on the way with pathogen glands for KingKong.
Yep, that's right. More Mutalisks on the way for Symbol, but you can just see like how hard it is to keep producing mutas in the amount you want to have. Oh, this is good. He can kill some Overlords. That does help.
Yeah. Take back map control at the very least and have a good read on when his opponent's going to move out. As we see the creep highway already starting to extend itself towards his opponent's base, so those infestors can shimmy up there nice and quick.
Yeah, creep highway doesn't really help out the Mutalisks, but hey, they fly really fast anyway, so who cares?
Well, let's see here now. That's a good number of lings out, but that's still quite a few roaches sitting on the ground. It's going to require a pretty overwhelming number of Mutalisks to be able to puncture through that anti-air.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we've got +2 weapons on the way right now for KingKong. Roach speed as well. Still, you know, a relatively small amount of mutas out on the map for TSL.Symbol. He's kind of splitting things up, too. He saw the infestation pit, so he doesn't want to get everything fungal growthed, which is a good thing to do. And Symbol's having a lot of time here. KingKong kind of has to give him a lot of time. There's nothing he can really do to move out on the map quite yet.
And, yeah, I mean, KingKong, he's got great worker count, but still can't find himself a third. So, you know, with the gas income that Symbol has at the moment, he's starting to buff those Mutalisk numbers quite a bit, up to 12 at the moment, and continuing to increase. +1 air attacks as well.
Hydra Den as well for KingKong. Interesting. All right, so I think he's going to just add on some Hydras for DPS. Just a little bit of insurance there.
And Mutalisk is walking around, scouting essentially at the moment. And yeah, that DPS is going to prove to be very useful if a big fight comes here in a bit.
What's the worker count right now? Did Symbol get a chance to make some more drones? He made some more drones. And 34, given the amount of minerals that are left, is not ideal, but it's not terrible either, really. And he is adding on more drones now. But in the meantime, KingKong doesn't need to add any more drones on. He can just add on units. So we're going to see him kind of pull ahead and supply a little bit here.
That's exactly what he's doing. Looks like he will be able to start the hatchery, and we'll see if the Mutalisk can actually deny that. Oh, just that starting is bad for Symbol. If he could have prevented that from even starting there, it would have been all right for him. But it's going to be difficult for him to pressure that anymore because the infestors are just starting to swing their way on down.
Yeah. All right. So will he be able to cause a cancel? Nice nice spread, but wow, Fungal Growth has a lot of nice range to it too.
Yeah, he's able to pick off 3 of those very, very nice with the Hydralisks in tow. So we've kind of gone down to a little bit slower 2-base versus 2-base as each player was afraid of expanding. But KingKong had so many banked resources that he throws down 1 hatchery, and we see another one queued up, but there's enough circlings there. It's not going to get through right away.
Yeah, definitely. Clearing up the Xel'Naga Watchtower as well. This is such an interesting ZVZ. We don't see a lot of them turn into something like this. Oh, and he's getting +1 Carapace, so he is dedicated to Mutalisks now. It's very difficult to switch, but he is just going all out for it, man. I mean, he's like, all right, I know I'm going to have to fight Hydras with this at some point, so I guess I better get some more armor.
Yeah, and his opponent has 6 Hydras on the field with another 6 on the way, and with those 2 Infestors, he'll have 7 out there, so that's quite a bit of potent anti-air. Changeling goes down, see some defensive Bailings up at the front, but yep, and there's the Burrow as well. So he's got a good number of mutas, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's done a good thing in that he hasn't really tried desperately to do damage at the cost of all his Mutalisks. So he's, excuse me, he's got a good group going here, but I don't know, KingKong's base is locked down so tight that it's still going to be tough to get in, even with that number, and he's going to need to be very, very careful not to allow those Mutalisks to get fungled in en masse.
All right, well, here comes Symbol, moves up,
boy,
and
does
get them fungled.
No.
Oh, my God. That's a huge amount of damage.
They're all going to die. There's nothing he can do about it. Goodbye, Mutalisks. And, yeah, losing basically everything there. Ouch.
Yeah.
Down to 2 mutas from 17. That is a huge loss. KingKong pulling just so far ahead right now, too.
Yeah, up by, let's see here, 60 supply at the moment. He still has 6 Infestors with 2 more on the way, 12 Hydras, 23 Roaches down on the ground at the moment with very, very great upgrades, and now has map control because the mutas are gone, and thus can pretty much expand wherever he wants.
A big push coming in from StarTale KingKong, now that he knows that the Mutalisk numbers are down. And, oh, the Burrowed Banelings on the ramp. You could really soften up the Roaches with that, but I guess he's waiting for something like the Infestors or the Hydras.
Let's see.
Oh, boy. Oh! Boom! Oh, very nice. Beautifully done.
Wow.
I don't think it's going to be enough, but that was cool.
No, it was still really cool. It's definitely not going to be enough, but that was fun to watch.
I haven't seen something like that in a ZVZ since, like, Moon versus Slush, and I think it was MLG Columbus. GG. Cool way to end the game, but that is it. That is the end of the series. StarTale 5-2 over TSL.